get ready for the final game of the first session here at the USA Lacrosse Experience. On the women's side, Colombia taking on Team USA. He is Mitch Belisle. I am Glenn Clark. It is great to be with you from Carroll Stadium here in Indianapolis. And the word that comes to mind when I look at the women's roster for this event, Mitch, would be loaded. Loaded roster that we're about to see in this game.
Multiple two-time tour-time winners. The U.S. women's box gold medal team MVP of that entire tournament. The last 3 years of AU Pro winners. Yeah, I'd say they're pretty good.
Loaded roster, obviously. Household names like Sam Apuzzo, who, of course, won the Athletes Unlimited Pro League this summer, as well as those two-time Tewaaraton Award winners that you mentioned, Izzy Skane and Charlotte North. Oh, and, you know, Dempsey Arsenal's in there. Taylor Moreno is in there. Just a crazy loaded roster. On the flip side for Colombia, again, a program that doesn't have a ton of top-level experience. They're looking to prove that they belong. They're looking to prove that they can get themselves into the picture for qualifying for the 2028 Olympics.
And that's something that they're building both at home in Colombia and then here in the United States. And so they're putting together that approach to try to make sure they're growing the game at both grassroots level and then here in the United States with the Colombian heritage, so that way women are excited to play for this team. And I got to say, so far, by far my favorite uniform combo here with the bright red and the yellow shorts. Very cool.
Really sharp look for the Colombian team. As Mitch mentioned, they are in the red with the yellow shorts, the yellow numerals. They'll be moving from right to left on your internet dial. Actually, flip that. Team USA in the white shorts with the blue numerals, as they are out for the opening draw. Isabel Stockman out there for Colombia. The other starters for Team Colombia, Juliana Kyle, as well as Alex Mazurchak, Oriana Eldridge, Katie DeShannon, and in goal you find Tori Perez. And Team USA wasting no time, but right there, goal number 1 of the day belongs to Sam Apuzzo.
And that was a quick strike off two great examples of ball movement. They get the ball up, out, and then Sam Apuzzo streaking to the cage immediately.
Sam Apuzzo, Cassidy Weeks, Abby Bosco, Dempsey Arsenal, Kayla Wood, and in goal Taylor Moreno for Team USA. Their starters as they get it back, looking to continue to push. What do you want to see from the USA women, Mitch?
Curious to see how they handle the sub game. Right there we're seeing they almost put on a full new complement as Marie McCool just roofs it. But I want to see how they sub, what they do in transition, and then I also want to see how their extra attacker, their woman up looks, because I think they're going to have some opportunities with the advantage. And I want to see what they do. Is it motion-based? Do they have sets? Do they have plays? And how that factors in.
McCool with her first of the day. The Americans get it back, leading 2-0. Now an assistant at North Carolina, where, of course, she was a legendary player, 3-time first-team All-American and an NCAA champion back in 2016. Good find, the cut. No finish this time as Ali Mastriani.
Mastriani, part of that gold medal winning Team 1, the women's box. Quite a bit of overlap here. I believe 6 players in total here, including Allie Kennedy, who was the MVP of that World Championship.
It was a great summer for Mastriani, as she also was a medalist as part of Athletes Unlimited. Of course, those games played at the home of USA Lacrosse, Tierney Field in Sparks, Maryland.
Columbia. Big ball pressure by Marie McCool right there, and really all over the field is USA showing their pressure defense and what that looks like.
And it leads to another Tar Heel, Kayla Wood, picking up the ground ball, bringing it back the other way, and not able to finish Casey Choma.
She's going to corral that one and find the back of the net with the cutter.
Go ahead and get it. 3-0. favor of the Americans.
Goal by number 21,
and that's the first of the day for Charlotte North. And what more can you say about Charlotte North other than in sixes, there's a non-zero chance we see her score from midfield at some point.
That's so funny. I got to watch these women play in box, and Allie Kennedy was one of them, and it's just, you throw a helmet and gloves on them, they look so much different, and then they come out here, but once they start running and playing, the style is so similar, so you see Allie Kennedy has so much speed right there.
Kennedy's first of the day makes it 4-0, and Colombia just not finding answers right now. Allie Kennedy also had a great summer in Athletes Unlimited, riding that wave here to Indianapolis and the USA Lacrosse Experience. Kennedy around the screen, dumps it underneath. That one denied. As Apuzzo trying to get underneath. Colombia trying to find something to get going. I know you were learning a little bit about the Colombia program before our broadcast.
Yeah, they talked about this is a group that is under kind of new leadership with their coaching staff. They've got some former Colombia national team members on their staff as well. Mitchie Eller's the former United States player. So a good mix of new and original. And they do such a nice job of both growing the game in Colombia at home, and that's a big focus for them, is growing it in Colombia, and then also finding those players in the United States with Colombian heritage.
Dempsey Arsenault gets her first of the day to make it 5-0, and the Americans get it right back in transition, and an easy finish for Marie McCool.
That's her second.
USA goal by number 4, Marie McCool.
You can see this is just where USA just plays such a fast pace, and they're always sending one streaker immediately on the turnover, one streaker downfield. That's something Colombia's going to have to start matching up with. I think they're basically going to want their top player on offense to always be ready to get back in transition.
Another opportunity for McCool, and she's got the first quarter hat trick.
USA goal by number 4,
and the last couple,
Marie McCool.
Far too easy. As the U.S. extends the lead out to 7-0, just under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter.
Well, this is where their Colombia is running so deep into the zone, but then they have 3 players trapped back.
Oh, what a save. There's a moment for Tori Perez as she denies Mastriani. Americans able to get it back. Choma. And this is a settled offense, which isn't something we've actually seen much of today.
No, their second real opportunity. A nice job on that switch there by Colombia to knock down. It was a little slip pick. They looked to the inside in the row. I've liked how they've had a woman at X, and they're trying to kind of flash around from X. It worked. Last time, I don't believe who it was the recipient, caught it, shot it high, goalie made a save. That time they had the kind of the outlet at X, but they don't find it there. Nice defense by Colombia to eliminate that opportunity.
Yeah, Kent was looking for Skane inside, not able to get it there, and Colombia is not going to waste too long. Mitchie Ellers is going to take a timeout here to talk about it.
Colombia timeout.
1:49 remaining in the first quarter. They trail 7-0. You mentioned Mitchie Ellers, of course, part of the 2009 World Championship team for Team USA. Now an assistant, a volunteer assistant at Villanova. We see some of these transition opportunities for the Americans. McCool, you leave them open, you're going to be in trouble.
And I think you bring up a great point. How many of these clips, there's not a single other red jersey
and it's
other than the unfortunate one of Tori Perez, who's sitting there all alone one-on-one with some of the best shooters in the world.
It's unfair to say leave them open. These are transition opportunities. These were not defensive lapses per se.
Sure.
These were.
But I think that's one thing that I thought Great Britain and Puerto Rico did a nice job in the first game of really eliminating a lot of transition opportunities by having that top offensive player get back and either play D or sub off.
Earlier today, Great Britain beating Puerto Rico 17-13 in our first women's matchup of the day.
Colombia's on the board.
That's what you're looking for, and they are fired up on the bench, just finding their way into the game. First goal of the day for Isabel Stockman.
It looks like they've doubled down a little bit. They settled on defense.
Oh, nice slip and an easy finish. Make it 8-1 now. Just over a minute remaining in the quarter as Ellie Macera gets on the board.
These turnovers high is a really dangerous thing when you've got Allie Kennedy streaking down. Colombia needs to really work on getting that ball low. So even if they do turn it over, at least they can get back and defend.
Second of the game for Kennedy, now 9-1. So Colombia executes out of the timeout, but it's been a battle for them. Another transition opportunity for the Americans, but they're going to hold this one back as Cassidy Weeks didn't like what she saw. Says, let's run some offense. Dodging left, spinning it back in the middle, but throwing it away. It was Izzy Skane. Izzy Skane, 2023 NCAA champion, finished her collegiate career with 376 goals, 107 assists for 483 points.
That's a decent stat
It's
line.
okay. It's okay.
I don't care what sport you're playing. That's a lot of goals or a lot of points.
That'll be how the first quarter comes to a close. All USA here in quarter number one. They're in front 9-1 at the USA Lacrosse Experience.
Fans, make sure you check out.
When a child picks up a lacrosse stick, they welcome the wonder of something new. They gain a community and the lasting friendships it creates. At USA Lacrosse, we believe the sport is an opportunity for families to create a lasting connection and make memories that last a lifetime. Catch the fun and bring a friend to pick up and play. During National Celebrate Lacrosse Week this November, head to usalacrosse.com/celebrate lacrosse to find a clinic near you.
9-1, Team USA in front of Team Colombia as we get ready for the start of the second quarter. Glenn Clark, Mitch Bilal with you from Indianapolis. Lindsay Monday, the head coach of this Team USA Sixes. This is her debut as the Sixes head coach of the Team USA program. And again, everything about looking ahead to 2028, figuring out how your roster, and there will be a World Championship before 2028, but figuring out how you want to shape your roster over the coming years as you move towards lacrosse's return to the Olympics in Los Angeles. And for Lindsay Monday, that'll be pretty cool. USC head coach, coaching in Los Angeles at the Olympics. That'll be a neat experience for her.
Yeah, that maybe a game or two at the Coliseum. I don't know. That might be.
I feel like they announced venues recently, and I don't remember what the venues were. We'll get on that. We're going to put the I-team on that today.
Get our research crew going.
Team switch sides to start the second quarter.
This weather is very USC adjacent.
Right.
Beautiful day here. And
unseasonably warm in Indianapolis. Gorgeous for lacrosse. No question about that. I don't think the players are complaining much about the weather. That one will come all the way back to Perez. And right now you can see they're fired up about the little things. Just getting the ball, getting the clear. It unfortunately isn't going to lead to possession as they turn it over, but
getting some opportunities to get back and play defense again.
Just looking for anything to be positive about right now if you're Colombia. Kind of building from the ground up.
And it's a great opportunity. These are women who probably grew up idolizing a lot of the players, and in some of the notes from Coach Eller, she talked about you deserve to be on the field with this Team USA roster. So it is tricky and it's hard. It's like you don't want to be in shock and awe because you're playing against your heroes, but you got to go out and compete with them. And I think Colombia, for the most part, has done a nice job of really, when they had the opportunity, pushing hard, pushing the pace, and trying to get the ball on net, and they're playing great physical defense.
Stockman in trouble, finds some help in the form of Mazurchek, but nowhere to go. USA pushing.
Looking for Cassidy Weeks there, but they can't connect on the quick strike offense, which they've been so effective with thus far.
You mentioned how much these Colombian players like to look up to some of these American players. We saw a really neat moment. You were down on the field talking to some members of the U.S. men's team between games, and we saw those two teams pose together for a photo after the game, and I thought that was a really cool moment for those Colombian players who, you know, not to say that none of them are at that level. Obviously, Kincannon is certainly at a high level of play. But for a lot of those guys, what a cool moment that was to share with some of the top stars in the sport.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite parts about the international game is you get these opportunities. As you hear, Colombia's fired up after a goalie save. But you get the opportunity to kind of meet so many different people, so many, and the lacrosse community is so tight. But then when you bring the international flavor into it, it's so awesome. You saw some, looked like they were trading some Colombia and U.S. gear. So it's a really unique thing to have these international contests, especially friendlies like this, where all the teams are just looking to get better.
Casey Choma gets her first goal of the day. 4-time All-American. Just finishing up a 5-year career at Notre Dame, where she also had 306 career points.
USA goal by
another
number 3,
one
Casey
for Choma. Make it 11-1 as the Americans score the first 2 goals here in quarter number 2. Taylor Moreno remaining in goal.
That was good little save there. Is nice job getting to the goal. I think that was Victoria Orozco.
Kaylee Waters is the other goalie on this USA roster. Another former North Carolina Tar Heel.
This Colombia team, they're actually going to do their national team tryouts this weekend, so kind of doubling up here by having this group of athletes and then bringing more in over the next 3 days or so to find out who their national team will be. So a good opportunity, and then the next round will be in Bogota. So U.S. is on the run again.
And there's been a lot of this today.
USA
That's the
goal by
second of the day
6,
for Ellie Macera. Stretches the lead to 12-1 as we hit the midway point of quarter number 2. Macera played at Stony Brook, finishing her career last year, 2-time All-American. Scored 232 goals during her Stony Brook career.
We have an illegal procedure there. The ball goes back to U.S., who makes quick work putting it in the back of the net.
And that's been, we could almost sort of repeat that. We could tell the crew, we don't need to bother doing the play-by-play. Just sort of record what it was that Mitch just said and keep playing it throughout the rest of the match.
The big thing that the United States is doing is every time there's any kind of turnover, they're sending 1 to 2 players down, and there's just no match right now from the Colombian defense. I think that's at halftime they're going to have to talk about. Let's make sure there's 1 player or 2 players that are immediately sprinting deep. And even if that means giving up less offensive opportunities, that's okay as long as we're taking away, as we get a 30-second minor penalty here.
Abby Bosco, the guilty party. Finished her career at Maryland after transferring in from Penn. 3-time All-American.
Shout out to her nieces. I coach her nieces in lacrosse at home in New
Very
Jersey.
cool.
Yeah, her uncle Mike helps me. He works with the West Orange women's lacrosse, girls lacrosse team, and get to work with his daughters, Cassie and Mackenzie. It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Shout out to the Bosco family. Hopefully they're tuning in, watching Abby continue to tear it up.
13-1. That last goal from Charlotte North was her second of the game. as Team USA, as unrelenting as the sun above us so far.
And Colombia looked like they were packing it in there. I thought they did a nice job, but ultimately just too powerful from the outside.
Kenzie Kent gets into the mix with her first of the game.
Kenzie Kent, cool story. Two-sport athlete in college. Maybe as good of a hockey player as she was.
Well, it's not just in college.
Player.
She's actually worn the red, white, and blue in ice hockey as well at the U18 level.
Marie McCool with the drop pass to Ali Mastriani. Now they're just going Globetrotter style.
First of the day for Ali Mastriani.
USA goal by number 12, Ali Mastriani.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goal scorers on the day for Team USA as it's 15-1 with 2 minutes remaining in the half. And keep it going.
McCool goes for the behind the back, but a big save there.
So Tori Perez making her presence felt. Perez played at Oglethorpe University. Remind me, we figured out what the mascot is for Oglethorpe.
Oh, it's a kestrel.
Yeah.
Stormy Petrel.
Stormy Petrel. That's exactly what
Petrels.
it is. The Stormy Petrels.
Oglethorpe Gothic Revivalist, I believe, is their architecture. Very, that is kind of what they're known for. It's just like almost feels like you're going into a castle when you go on campus. I believe I did a Team USA men's event there.
That's cool.
Back in the day in Atlanta. Lou Corsetti, who's here helping out with USA Lacrosse, he was there. He's a long-time Atlanta resident. He and his wife, Mary Jo, have done so much for the lacrosse community down in Georgia.
Moreno not quite on target with the outlet pass after Mastriani's second goal of the day. Final minute of the first half, 16-1, all America so far.
This is where Colombia's got to get someone low. We got to get the ball deep to make sure if there is a turnover, at least it's happening
and they've
less threatening location.
They've seemed a little tentative to dodge as well. Understandably so, given the defense they're up against, as we see Sienna Powell lose it there.
And that's going to be Abby Bosco going? No. It is going to be Sierra Haas going to the box.
The attacker from Atlanta. So with 24.7 seconds remaining in the second quarter,
number 11, Sierra
a woman-up opportunity for the United States. Now it's a 1-minute penalty, and you would say, hey, you could carry it over to the third quarter, but you're also in front 16-1. So my guess is they're not going to think too much about that, and indeed they won't.
Allie Kennedy with the outside rip. They're going to say that deflected off the defender.
Stays with the U.S. That shot wide, and so that one will be a turnover.
Another outside shot. It's interesting on the women's game. If you hit a defender above the knee with a shot, that's a dangerous propel, and that's an expulsionary penalty. So taking those outside shots a little risky if there's anyone in your way.
United States, early onslaught and never let up in the first half. They go to halftime with a 16-1 advantage. We'll come back in, take a look at our first half highlights, and get you ready for the start of the second half. You're watching the USA Lacrosse Experience.
Fans, improve your speed, power, agility, strength, and stamina for a better on-field performance for free through the end of the year.
Every player knows the skills you learn on the field can be the foundation for anything you choose to do in life.
Thank you for connecting me to a greater community.
We're growing beyond goals on the field.
And our futures are united.
So thank you, Lacrosse.
For inspiring me to be me.
We are better,
Safer,
And wiser together.
and we're building a stronger future
For everyone.
If they could see themselves play and then we can correct it and then bring those corrections to the field, that's every coach's dream.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now at Gainbridge.io.
Stadium, Team USA in front of Colombia 16-1 as we get ready for the start of half number 2. Want to thank some partners that have helped make the USA Lacrosse experience possible out here in Indianapolis, like Baby Bop Asian Grill, as well as Condado Tacos, Tequila, and Margaritas, Penn Station East Coast Subs, and Taylor's Bakery. Appreciate their support.
I think we had some Taylor's Bakery donuts down in the hospitality tent, and I got to say, I loved them. And so there was a couple bees that were snacking on some
really popular.
Snacking on the last leftover donut. Very popular with the Yellow Jackets.
Taking a look at some of our first half highlights. It has been lather, rinse, repeat today. Transition opportunity after transition opportunity for Team USA, and for the most part, they have made them count.
Yeah, they've really put a ton of pressure on Colombia anytime they've been in their offensive zone. That traditionally was leading to turnovers, and on those turnovers, you saw 1, 2, or 3 white jerseys streaking down the field. They were finding open shots and ultimately putting them in the back of the net. Not once, not twice, but 16 times. Colombia was able to get on the board. They got a couple saves on the back end, and I think defensively you can see they're really working on, all right, let's make sure we get the ball deep. Let's make sure we're taking away that quick straight transition. We'll see how those adjustments come into play in this second half.
Yeah, Isabel Stockman with the 1 goal for Colombia. For Team USA, Marie McCool, 3 goals and 2 assists for 5 points. Kennedy, North, Macera, Choma, and Mastriani all with 2 goals apiece. Taylor Moreno added 3 saves in the first half as Team USA builds up this 16-1 advantage. This is the final game of our first session here at the USA Lacrosse Experience. Session number 2 begins at 3:30 this afternoon. Great Britain and Colombia, the men, followed by the women. And then tonight, the United States against Puerto Rico. The men at 6 o'clock, the women at 7:15. A lot of events around this area tomorrow. Starting in the morning, skills clinics presented by Gate Lacrosse. Adaptive skills clinic right here in the stadium. Queen of the Park on the grass field. The Queen of the Park title games will be here inside the stadium tomorrow afternoon. And then tomorrow, starting at 4 o'clock, 4 more international games. Colombia and Puerto Rico, the women and then the men. And then starting at 6:30, the United States and Great Britain, the women and the men. Busy weekend. Very cool to bring the USA Lacrosse Experience out here into the Midwest, a growing lacrosse region. Indianapolis hosted an NCAA tournament quarterfinal day just a few years back. We can see from where we're sitting off in the distance, Lucas Oil Stadium was the host site for that quarterfinal day just a couple of years back, in Indianapolis growing as a lacrosse hotbed.
Yeah, some great programs here, some club and high schools that are really having a lot of success. Fun fact, Glenn, I lived in West Lafayette, Indiana for 1 year of my life.
How about that? Of course, the home of Purdue.
You got it. My dad was doing an MBA program at Purdue, so we were right down the street at West Lafayette my 3rd grade year. I think that was like I just missed Drew Bledsoe, I believe.
I was going to say, wait.
Quarterback year.
I think Drew Brees was Purdue.
Drew Brees, Drew Brees,
yeah.
Not Bledsoe. What am I talking about?
And yeah, thank you for that. The University of University of Indianapolis also hosted the D2 championship. So lacrosse very much growing out here in Indianapolis, and great here to be out here for it. Columbia ball to start quarter number 3. Moving now right to left on your internet dial.
And they are shorthanded, so they will be running for their lives here, 4-on-5, as United States not taking their feet off the gas pedal.
I was about to say you're never going to believe that led to another transition opportunity, but Dempsey Arsenault decided to hold it back
Nice job by Colombia to get back on defense to match up, as they have the extra defender right now.
U.S. You wonder if they're making decisions about whether or not they need to keep running in transition. They've proven they can score in transition. And the awkward, like the jump attempt there, and Charlotte North couldn't get it off her stick, but it's not like basketball where you'd be called for traveling.
It fell out of her stick. She caught it and then tried ripping it again. That one just sailed wide. But yeah, it was almost like the fake, but with a little bit of a real shot in between.
Well, and you know that Charlotte North can score from anywhere. We have seen so many within the women's game. I'll say Charlotte North plays a style that's much more like men's lacrosse. Her ability to shoot from distance is almost unparalleled within the sport.
Yeah, and I think you couple just her athleticism, power, skill with the developments in stick technology, and their women are more or less able to cradle it and get that snap of the wrist and that whip so that they can shoot it so hard and so accurately. It's pretty incredible. I think Charlotte North is really one of the pioneers of being able to take those kind of shots.
Dempsey Arsenal hit with the 30-second penalty. That ball is loose, and the in-between ended up being a disaster for Tori Perez. She came out at first but didn't commit to it, and that allowed Cassidy Weeks to score her first goal of the day. Sort of no woman's land once you do that. If you're Perez, you're coming off that, you got to go get that ball.
Absolutely, as Marie McCool takes a seat, gets knocked about a bit.
Penalty is up on Arsenal.
They're debating whether that was over and back. They're going to say because it was a change of possession, and then the U.S. had possession, they went back. They're going to give that to Colombia. And we've got a goalie change for the United States as Kaylee Waters is now between the pipes back there.
Originally from Darien, Connecticut, of course played at North Carolina, was two-time NCAA Goalkeeper of the Year, now an assistant at Virginia.
A lot of college coaches on this U.S. women's roster, so no shortage of technical and strategic expertise.
And no shortage of great defense either. Great effort from Mastriani. U.S. will slow it down once again, leading 17-1. Choma flips it over to Mastriani. Out back to the near side, and McCool. And perfect cut, but not able to connect as Choma had come free.
She's going to pick that up and just run away from pressure.
And that's the shot clock. We have not seen, is that the first shot clock violation of the day for Team USA?
Absolutely, and you can hear it in the excitement in the Colombian team. They're cheering. And that's we talk about the little victories. Yep. That's a little win, right? You get a full shot clock defense. That's a nice job by that Colombian defense.
5 minutes remaining. Picked up back behind by Sandora.
Just constant pressure on the hands of all Colombian offensive players when the ball's in their stick. And it's just, right now there's just no answer for that because they're just so athletic. The United States defenders are so athletic and so much pressure on their hands. Colombian women really have no option but to run away or try to get away from that pressure. And a lot of times it's resulting in turnovers.
Well, and even on that particular transition sequence, you saw Choma was able to get in front, as that one will be easy for Kenzie Kent. What a second of the game.
What a feed, what a catch there. It was like a alley-oop right there.
18-1. But on that previous play, Choma had slipped out in front. She had plenty of space, was ready for an outlet pass to try to get another easy transition goal. And speaking of easy transition goals, how about one getting into the mix for the first time today, Cassidy Spillis.
Continuing to share the wealth here for Team USA on the offensive side.
Spillis, the four-time All-American and all-time leading scorer in Rutgers history. She's wrapping up her career, 266 career goals. Gets her first of the day here at the USA Lacrosse Experience. And that one just sort of pops off the stick.
That is a touch pass to the back of the net right there.
Massera with her third of the day, so she joins the hat trick party. Didn't even catch the ball, just redirected it into the back of the net to make it 20-1. Mitch Yellers will take her first timeout of the second half here with 3:21 remaining in the third. Now, the last time they took a timeout, they drew up a play that led to a goal.
That was the one success story on offense that they've had so far. What I really liked about that last goal that we just saw, the going back to Ellie Macera, just popping that one, gently placing it into the top far corner. I love how she was almost setting a little pick up floor or acting like she was setting a pick and then just slipped to the inside off ball. And that is ultimately what allowed her to have that open look. I think that's what U.S. does really well, and I thought Puerto Rico did a pretty good job of that in their first women's game, of really flashing to the middle. And I'm sorry, Great Britain did a good job of, especially when they were a woman up, is flashing to the middle and then continuing to cycle back out into their shape. And I think U.S. does it probably better than anyone. Great Britain did a nice job and had like a nice 3 or 4 goal run that they went on, using a little bit of almost like you're hanging in the middle, maybe setting a pick, setting a screen, and then you're flashing to the ball. And it's a slip pick in men's lacrosse, but in women's it's less of a pick and more of a kind of finding that space and then turning and cutting. And with all that motion, they're able to get stuff open on the inside or look for the skip on the backside that opens up those outside shots.
3:21. We haven't, the truth being told, we have not even seen a lot. We still haven't seen a ton of settled offense. And I actually thought a couple of times here in the third quarter, they were purposefully making the decision, don't attack the goal. We want to run an offense. We want to run a set here and see what we can't do.
Yeah, they're going to need to practice
we
having some settled offense.
We know we
can
score in transition. We've proven that. No problem.
Yeah, check. The box has been checked officially several times.
Now let's see if we can't run a few more sets.
Now can Colombia get their own transition? They've got a 2-on-1, but they can't get the ball up to the front lines.
Picked up by Cassidy Weeks. She flips it over to Kent. Kent moves it right to the middle. The behind-the-back opportunity won't go for Weeks.
Big save by Tori Perez there as she kicked the right boot out and knocked it away.
Possession continues for Team USA. Late in this third quarter, moved in towards the middle. A lot of attention paid on Dempsey Arsenault. They're able to get the ball free, and ground ball picked back up by Arsenault. And they move it right in front for another slam dunk from Kenzie Kent.
What a touch by Kent there.
USA goal by number 10, Kenzie Kent.
The alley-oop. 21-1.
Doing their best Caitlin Clark impressions with the alley-oop there. We're in fever country here.
I was thinking maybe I might get a jersey while I'm out here this weekend. That's true. The next goal will be the Caitlin Clark goal for Team USA. The top, Mastriani.
That one rings off the pipe and goes wide.
And tracked down in the corner by Choma. To Kuykendall. Haven't seen a lot of Erin Kuykendall. Another former Northwestern All-American. Just finished up her career, 368 points.
Another save by Perez there. That time using her noggin.
Whatever you got to do in order to get it.
They don't ask how, they ask how many, Glenn.
That's correct. They all count the same.
In this quarter, Tori Perez has racked up quite a few, actually. She's looked really spectacular, making some big saves.
Move back to the middle, and that one she can't save. Marie McCool.
USA
fourth of the day.
Goal by number 4, Marie McCool.
Well, and part of that, too, being that she's seeing more settled offense. Like, saving those transition opportunities is nearly impossible.
Right, you're almost better off trying to make a quick save, and then if you let it go, with this format and the quick strike offense, you're almost better. Definitely defensively, don't push a fourth or a fifth player down into the offensive zone if your teammate has a breakaway. Just get ready to go the other way for transition and try to use that to your advantage. And if they're going to score, at least get one right back.
15 seconds remaining. Another transition opportunity, trying to go behind the back. McCool not able to finish. Feels like the first time she didn't finish.
She tried it behind the back earlier that also missed. I'm curious if her UNC women
did
are
the same thing
on a breakaway throw the behind the
we
back.
should be all right with that.
You know they're clipping that out and they're putting it on their phone. So next time they throw a BTB, oh really? I can't do
that.
I can't.
No doubt about it. One more quarter to go. USA in front, 22-1 here in Indianapolis at the USA Lacrosse Experience.
When a child picks up a lacrosse stick, they welcome the wonder of something new. They gain a community and the lasting friendships it creates. At USA Lacrosse, we believe the sport is an opportunity for families to create a lasting connection and make memories that last a lifetime. Catch the fun and bring a friend to pick up and play. During National Celebrate Lacrosse Week this November, head to usalacrosse.com/celebrate lacrosse to find a clinic near you.
See in the background, that is Lucas Oil Stadium. We mentioned it earlier. Previously hosted an NCAA Division I men's quarterfinal day. Tomorrow night, they're hosting Pink. And I was wondering if, because the U.S. women play at 6:30 tomorrow night, if any of them might try to duck out afterwards, like not even bother to get, just go right over to the stadium to check out Pink after their game tomorrow night.
What is Pink's demographic? I feel like she's pretty, obviously she's selling out Lucas Oil Stadium, so she's a wide range,
it's everybody,
right?
Honestly. I just think it might be a little too late for the men because they play at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Be a little bit tough to get over there afterwards.
Maybe they could catch a back half of her set.
Maybe you and I could wander over afterwards. Maybe we could, I don't know, let the crew handle the broadcast for the last game of the day. We could go check out Pink tomorrow night, playing at Lucas Oil Stadium. Big weekend here in Indianapolis. A lot of big events, obviously. It's a big event town. 500, Combine every year. It's hosted Super Bowls, Final Fours regularly.
The 500, U.S. men's and women's team went over to the Indianapolis 500, the
Brickyard
Motor Speedway.
Very
they
cool.
went over there. Saw some pictures on social media. Got to kiss the bricks.
I did that. I visited the Brickyard once, and I kissed the bricks, and then I thought to myself, I didn't do anything. Why am I doing this? I didn't win the Indianapolis 500.
Not yet.
That's a great point, and not with that attitude. Start of the fourth quarter. Team USA in front of Colombia, 22-1. He's Mitch Belisle. I'm Glenn Clark. We've had a great day so far. Team USA men beating Colombia 25-7. Great Britain women beating Puerto Rico 17-13. Puerto Rico men opened up today with a 16-14 win over Great Britain. We got 4 more games coming up today, starting at 3:30. And Team USA says we got more goals to score before then.
USA goal.
We're not done yet.
Cassidy
Spillis with her second of the day. From Tabernacle, New Jersey. Where's Tabernacle in New Jersey?
I'm going to have to plead the fifth
What?
on that one. New Jersey's one of those towns where there's a lot of those smaller towns that I've never heard of. I'm going to guess it's South Jersey. I'm going to go with South Jersey for Tabernacle.
Spillis goes behind the back.
She heard us talking about her. She had to score again and do it in a
doubt.
fancy way.
She's got the hat trick, 24-1. And there's a save from Waters. Long outlet pass. Ooh, I thought Bosco was going to pull that down.
But she does a nice job of pushing it ahead, and big save there.
It has been all Team USA, to say the least. You didn't need to be with us for all 4 quarters to know. Yeah, South Jersey.
Look at that. I don't know my Jersey well, but I know it well enough.
You.
Tabernacle just due east of Philadelphia in South Jersey.
A settled tally this time for Team USA.
Goal line number 2, Sam Apuzzo.
Sam Apuzzo gets just her second goal of the day.
She started things off in the first goal of the game and now capped it off to this point.
2018 Tewaaraton winner, Sam Apuzzo. She had been a medalist 3 times at Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. It was very much a bridesmaid, but not the bride situation until this summer as Sam Apuzzo won the title for the first time.
She's one of those multiple college coaches we talked about at her alma mater, BC, over in beautiful Boston, Massachusetts.
Contact up high to the head. It's going to draw the card.
That's a slash. That'll be 1 minute. Marie McCool will cool down on the penalty chair.
Yeah, you've been waiting on that one. You've been sitting on it.
I've stumbled through it. It wasn't flawless.
It wasn't
certainly not flawless.
It could have been executed better, but you know what? It's the thought that counts. 25-1. Frankly, the fact that you're even performing at all in this heat and ungodly sun, it's really remarkable. A very hopeful shot. Very, very hopeful shot attempt there from Sienna Powell. And it's going to be a woman down goal for the Americans. As Charlotte North adds to her tally. She's got a third.
Credit the assist back there to Kaylee Waters. Goaltenders getting in on the score sheet today.
That transition game has just been superb for the Americans, and that's too easy on the cut. The finish for Kenzie Kent.
USA goal
her
by
fourth.
number 10, Kenzie Kent.
$27-1. That one will roll into the waiting stick of Waters, who tosses it down, and yep, just like that.
USA goal by number 6, Ellie Macera.
Ellie Macera now with fourth on the day. That's 3 different U.S. players with 4 goals. McCool, Macera, and Kenzie Kent. And just sort of pushing that in the direction of the goal was Vergara. And she draws.
30-second. Push, technical infraction. They call that a minor in sixes. So they have minors and majors. Minors, green card, 30 seconds. More like a technical foul in field lacrosse. Then you've got the major, that's a minute. Kind of like a personal foul. You cannot get, if you get 3 majors, 3 minutes worth of penalties, you're out of the game. And then you, of course, have the red card, the dreaded red. If they flash a red card, you're out for the rest of the game.
Dunsky. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get out of here.
Until the next game, at least.
Correct,
all these teams have 2 more.
They're not going away for the weekend. That's a good point. Allie Kennedy picks it up. Across the mouth of goal. And back the other way. Just over 3 minutes remaining. You know, it's interesting, we were talking about Caitlin Clark earlier, and I'm wondering over the next 4 years, we're going to see more star players that are going to join into the mix. And Caitlin Clark, in the 4 years leading up to the last Olympics, you obviously saw her star rise at Iowa. And yet, that national team had kind of already come together for the Olympics. And you wonder what that looks like for young players now. Might there be a Caitlin Clark type 4 years from now, where Lindsay Mundy has to make a difficult decision about whether or not you take the stud younger player or the group of players that have been in the pipeline for a few years and building towards the Olympics.
Yeah, and that was kind of the Brennan O'Neill situation.
That's a great
2 summers
comparison.
ago in San Diego, but they took him, right?
And, yeah, that was a pretty good decision.
I would say that worked out okay. He did a great job. Was he the MVP, I believe?
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
the best player at the World Championships.
That's a decent little resume builder there. Sam Apuzzo will take her time and walk in for another one.
Sam Apuzzo joining the hat trick party.
USA goal by number 2, Sam Apuzzo.
30-1 is the score.
Under 2 minutes left in the
Kayla
fourth
Wood
quarter,
comes away with the
under 2
ground ball,
minutes.
pushes it ahead. That one's wide. And you can see any little thing right now
USA
for Colombia
goal by
to
number 1, Cassidy Weeks.
as Cassidy Weeks ends up coming away with the goal, but anything they can get fired up about. Second of the day for Cassidy Weeks. 31-1.
They are not relenting on defense. That's the one thing I think. Certainly the challenge here has been, let's keep the pressure up on defense. Let's see if we can continue that pressure. And then as soon as the pressure is successful, let's get 2 streakers upfield, as we see Marie McCool just up with 2 other white jerseys coming with her for a 3-on-1.
And just
textbook.
Sort of going for a walk in the park is what it feels like. Charlotte North, her 4th of the game. Ground ball picked up by Massera into the final minute of the 4th quarter.
McCool.
Why not?
Puts her 5th in.
USA goal by number 4, Marie McCool.
I'm running out of room on this sheet. I'm going to need a new sheet. I don't know if we have a printer around here. 33-1, the 5th for McCool.
With 20 seconds left, we should probably only see 1 to 2 to 7 more tallies for the U.S. The pace they're going right now. And there's a big save
How about
there.
That? Congratulations.
Let's end on a high note here for Colombia defensively.
USA
with
goal
1.8 seconds left, Massera gets 1 more for the road. 5th of the day, 34-1. There was a big collision. It's going to be called a yellow
card
on Sierra Haas. So it'll show as a 1-minute penalty. There'll be 1.8 seconds of it that will be served. And the United States will get an emphatic 34-1 victory to begin the USA Lacrosse experience. Never in doubt.
USA goal by number 12.
Oh, they're going to count it. Wow. They're going to count it. 35-1 will be the final score as Mastriani adds her 3rd of the day.
Final, the USA 35
Mitch Belisle,
over Colombia.
Obviously a one-sided affair. Your thoughts on what you saw from the Americans today?
I think they had a recipe for success, and that was high-pressure defense, push the pace in transition. It was extremely successful. Will they continue to work on that against an opponent who plays a little bit, who forces them to make adjustments, or do they keep working on that this next 2 days? I think that is the big question mark that I have, because they excelled at the pressure defense and they excelled in transition. Will they work on other aspects, or do they want to perfect that now and then work on something else at their next training opportunity?
Colombia back in action at 4:45. They'll take on Great Britain and the United States tonight, 7:15 against Puerto Rico. We are going to have a bit of a break. Our next game will be at 3:30 when the Great Britain men take on Colombia. So come back and join us for that here on the USA Lacrosse YouTube page. Thanks to our entire crew for working hard all day. For Mitch Belisle, I'm Glenn Clark. We'll see you later this afternoon. USA wins 35-1 here at the USA Lacrosse Experience.